You're listening to a Bay of Islands Radio original podcast.
Incoming transmission.
Beam aboard for another episode of Sunday Night Geek, live from the Bay of Islands radio studio in Cornerbuck, Newfoundland. Find us online at boir.ca and by subspace transmission 100.1 FM or on Rogers Channel 9. Join our hosts, Angel Sky Cosplay, Sean the Tech Ninja, and the Big Dirty Nerd as they travel through time and space, review all the nerd news this week, talk about things nobody ever talks about, and answers questions no one asked.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Sunday Night Geek. I am joined by Sean.
Hello. Long, uncomfortable pauses. I take a drink.
Yeah, that was awkward, man. You were starting to make me feel like we were going to break up or something there.
Thirsty.
We don't have Angel Sky with us tonight. She's out busy being an adult, a responsible adult.
Day jobbing.
Even though it's nighttime, she's day jobbing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The pay the bills stuff.
The pay the bills stuff.
I don't have to do that till Tuesday.
Not the fun stuff. So it's just us tonight. Sausage Factory, Sausage Fest.
As long as it's not the grinder, that would hurt.
Ooh, dude, no, ow.
No.
Painful stuff. Painful stuff. So,
See, this mic's cooperating.
That mic is fun. Well, that mic, yeah, because that's Angel Sky's usual mic.
I think there's something to do with like a capacitor or something here that just goes.
I don't even know.
I
don't even know.
So
that's up for you techie guys to figure out, and I'm not one of them.
Well, I mentioned to you briefly before we went to air.
Yeah, let's hear this.
So there's a campground over in Germany, I think it is, and it's been using the same computer for 36 years.
That is
in its daily
crazy.
It like books the campgrounds. It's from an Atari ST, so it's like one of these point and click computers. It's not like command line or text or whatever.
Yeah.
And he made it so like, you can go in and click and book in and write in the person, et cetera, and it's right there by his phone. And 36 years on, he said, still there. It's orange now. It's not yellowed, it's orange. Yeah. These things were like gray.
But it kind of makes sense. Like if you got something that works, keep using it.
As I was thinking about it, there are two other machines now. There are three machines that have been in the media a bit popular and have hit the plus 30 mark for that. One's in the States and two are in Europe. There's also in, I think, the Czech Republic somewhere.
That doesn't surprise me.
It's a Commodore 64 that's being used in a mechanic shop for rebalancing drive shafts. Yep. And then there's an Amiga in Ann Arbor, Michigan, in a school there that controls the HVAC system.
None of that surprises me.
Yeah.
Right? Because realistically, if it works, you and I both know, the more you upgrade stuff, the less it works.
Yeah. I mean, like, it can be... Like, I remember a friend of mine didn't even realize, like, and they have them on Amazon, these little watering things.
Yeah.
They're like, why don't you get them with, like, this and that and everything, and, like, all this different stuff? Like, why? If you're just going to water the thing, like, once a day, and you just have to tell how many times to squirt it and do it once a day, this is it.
Yeah.
You don't need to overcomplicate.
Keep it simple.
Stuff.
Keep it simple.
It's like those.
I mean, don't get us wrong. We're both tech heads.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we like playing around with this kind of... Well, you more so than I do.
Yeah.
I like using it. You like playing around with it. But keep it simple.
But that's the thing. Like, it's funny, though. It shows, like, him now, and, like, he's showing the guy interviewing him the thing, and there's, like, a screenshot of, like, it looks like his face from, like, the 80s, and he has the mustache and, like, that fro-ish kind of hair.
Oh, my God.
Bob and, Ross, like, black and white. Hair. Yeah, kind of like that, yeah. Oh, man.
Just so everyone knows, just a programming note, a show note, we are back on Rogers Cable 9 tonight.
Hey.
So, hi out there, Cable 9 people who are watching. So, yeah, we're back on Cable 9 as of this evening, and we should continue to be back, resume our regular slot on Cable 9 going forward. So,
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So, we saw a movie.
No, let's not start at the end. Let's go back to the beginning and work our way towards the movie.
Yeah.
We will be talking about.
So, what have you seen this week? What have you missed?
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol? Okay, you're only on the first two episodes, right? So we'll avoid that. I'll wait till Angela comes in because we've been having a blast watching it.
And I'll be all caught up by then.
This episode's great.
Doom Patrol is a great series, man. It is a fantastic series. So let's go all the way back to Tuesday, I think, with Stargirl.
Yep.
Stargirl, man, continues to impress.
It's good. We're going to have Jay Garrick this week coming.
Is it this week? That's awesome. Okay, cool. Good.
This October's episode.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
He's
wearing his identical outfit, so I wonder how this is going to be, if he's in variant or he's the same one.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, who is he? Where did he come from? Blah-de, blah-de, blah.
He's supposed to be a founding member.
Well, yeah, but like, is it Earth 2 Jay Garrick that we're familiar with? Is it?
Well, that's what I'm wondering, because like vibrational frequencies and all that stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah. and see how he fits into how he's going to fit into the story. Obviously, he's going to be like one of the mentors, like Starman is, and stuff like that, which we saw briefly in a flashback sequence this week. Joel McHale,
he's still farting around in the background.
He's still farting around in the background somewhere. Yeah, we haven't seen him.
They're letting that stew. I think
they're letting that stew. We haven't seen him really in the forefront the last 2 or 3 episodes.
There's enough going on. I think that they are like, okay, we'll let that go for a while. We'll let that thread hang.
Yeah.
And we'll get to this because I think Pemberton's rebuilding his estate. I think that's what he's doing. He was a rich guy and he had a flying car and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You know more about the characters than I do. Well, I'll just say yep. And
that's what I take from Infinity Incorporated.
Yeah.
Which is basically what they're taking heavily from.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Solomon Grundy made an appearance. Yeah, not just appearance though. Like you've seen like what was going on, what was affecting other people, and like deceptions and stuff like that. Because Grundy like joins, like if this is going by Infinity Incorporated, he joins the team.
I can see that happening.
He's supposed to be soft on Jade.
I can see that happen. Yeah, without a doubt. And speaking of Jade, we haven't seen her since like the first episode or something.
She's supposed to pop back up.
Good, because that was one character I was looking forward to.
I think they limit the amount of people per episode for the budget.
Well, that could be.
I think that's probably what it is, and then they'll have their big episode where they can blow the budget on that episode.
Yeah.
That makes can't wait for it. But that numbers, that means we're gonna have an awesome episode.
This chair, whoever was in this chair last time, did something to it, and I'm all leaning back.
Maybe it's the person that interviewed you.
Might be.
You made Hulk, a crossover.
Was that you, Hulk?
Yeah, you haven't mentioned it on here, have you, about how that went?
No, well, this is our first episode since we...
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, well, you can talk about that, too.
Yeah, so I was on the Hulk Caesar show this week, and we're going to get him in here sometime soon. Great show. We had a lot of fun. We played a couple of Who Would Beat Who games and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Listened to some music. Found out some interesting things about how we can play music on the show.
Oh.
Yeah, so after 10 years, we might be able to play music.
Oh.
I got to figure this chair out.
Oh, I had an interesting one thought about today for Who versus Who.
Who?
Lore versus Vader.
Lore?
Not Data. Lore.
Well, obviously,
Lore doesn't have the compulsion to like be nice to people and stuff. Lore will kill you in the drop of a hat, right? So basically, take Data and take anything that's restraining Data away, and you get Lore. And so you throw him against Data. And Soong types are supposed to be fast, not just strong. They're supposed to be fast. They're like Terminators.
All right, this chair is completely screwed up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but they're like Terminators, right? So.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have that midichlorian stuff, so the force affects them more limitedly. It's more like force pushes and levitations. Yeah. You can't do the same thing as you do to humans, like force choke them, so he can still be strong. And yeah.
That would be an interesting fight to see.
He can be like a certain Ultron and a certain Thanos. Cool!
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
We'll
realistically, when we get to it now, because
yes,
with the exception that Stargirl was really, really good.
Yeah.
This episode was more of a establishment kind of thing. So there wasn't really a whole lot.
We're building up to something.
Yeah. What if this week should have been called What the F?
It was as good as Infinity Saga.
Yeah, I think so too.
It really rivaled it. Like that Shaft part where he hauls the last one, he got a baby nuke on there.
Yeah. So basically, what's been going on? We've been predicting this for weeks and weeks and weeks now, saying that this is all going to culminate in a unified...
We didn't realize we were getting a hint of it last week at the end of Thor, the Thor one, because that's who walks in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that we were going to get this. Right?
I know they've been very tight-lipped about the episodes.
They've been good at it too.
Yeah. Yeah, but this was a really, really good episode. So the whole premise behind this one was, what if Ultron had won in Age of Ultron, and
got that body,
got the Vision body. So that's not Vision.
Yeah, that's Ultron.
People need to understand that that's not Vision. That's Ultron, and Ultron with the mind gem. So he actually realizes what he has.
Yeah,
and when Thanos shows up to claim the mind gem, Ultron is just like, "I'll take those."
Yeah.
Zap, cuts him in half.
He's just like, literally, he's like, interesting, kill.
Yeah.
Bisection.
That was
he went for the head.
Yeah.
Should have went for the head.
Should have went for the head. That's what he warned Thor. That's what he told Thor, was should have went for the head.
No, he didn't even hesitate.
Yeah. And so Ultron basically destroys the universe. That universe, not our universe, but that universe.
I like that armor. It's just basically like the gems, and like his old version is like his armor now.
Yeah. That was very cool.
And then the cloak and everything, I was just like, that's bad. He looked like an anime villain.
He did, yeah.
And it was great.
I really liked that. I really liked the look of that. So, and he hears the Watcher. As the Watcher is talking to himself, which the Watcher does.
Cosmically aware.
He's cosmically aware, and he goes, who said that? And next thing you know, he notices the Watcher, and the Watcher came so close to interfering in this episode when Hawkeye and Black Widow were looking for the way to defeat Ultron.
Yeah.
Right? And like Hawkeye had his hand on the file box.
She kneecaps the friggin' Ultron droid. Yeah. Like, hey, I got a body. Blam, blam. Yeah, no, I don't trust you that much.
Yeah. And what you're referring to is when they got Arnim Zola into an Ultron body.
You see Zola previously in Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
But they download him. Yeah, using like a tech arrow. You could blast it in like something and like it downloads itself onto.
Yeah, that was very cool.
Yeah. That was good. He was like, hey, I got to. And he was offering support fire and stuff like that. There's nothing, I don't think, in it for him right now to screw.
No, well, that's just it. From what I understand, on this version of Earth, they're the last 3 remaining people.
Things.
If you can call Arnim Zola a person. But they're the last 3 remaining people. And that whole sequence where Hawkeye sacrifices himself, I mean, that was a complete...
That's what I mean. That was epic. If they shot that in live action, that would have been
so
expensive,
cool.
but awesome.
But, I mean, it was a callback to Endgame.
Yeah.
Right, when Black Widow sacrificed herself to get the Soul Gem.
I can't wait for them because there's a few episodes now still.
Yeah.
So we're going to see like their own little thing.
Few episodes, or I thought this week was the season finale.
Is it November? I thought it ended. And because just before November, I thought because of Hawkeye starts in November.
I don't know.
Because usually do a week. I got to double check that too. Because usually do a week or 2 before the next.
But the series has been renewed for a second season, so we'll definitely be seeing more.
Oh man!
But the important thing for Marvel fans and people who are watching this show to realize is, like, we're all pumped for Spider-Man: No Way Home and Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness. We are seeing the multiverse now.
Yeah. This is
don't wait. Don't hold off. This is what we're seeing.
I said that to Angela on the way home, and we'll get to Venom.
Yes.
Let There Be Carnage. But I was saying, I think What If is hinting at stuff happening in what's coming up.
Not hinting. It's telling us.
No, I mean like hinting at like multiple things. There's other things being thrown in there we're having to pick up on. Not just for Doctor Strange. Not just for Doctor Strange, but I think Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be impacts everywhere.
Yeah. And I mean the What If series, I mean they could do a hell of a lot more with the What If series too. I mean, we've already been hinted at mutants in the MCU with the WandaVision and WandaVision series. I mean, they could easily do some kind of tip of the hat in What If to the mutants in the multiverse.
As long as it's not a milady.
Oh God, no. Let's not do that. No.
God, no. No. That was a nice fight, though, across reality. And, like, even when you were seeing the bystanders change to different races.
Yeah, every time they hit each other. Yeah. And I knew the Watcher was powerful, but I never had a clue that he was that powerful.
Yeah, they abstain from involvement because of their power, right? They're usually, like, that he Superboy primed the thing, basically. Like when Superboy primed did the whole punch reality thing, that's what he was doing. Yeah. They're just punching through reality. It's just like, and he got that armor on and blah, blah, blah. But then...
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
When he did that.
I figured he was going to... And when I saw it, I was like, oh, I knew he was going to go there. He knew about Strange's little gem.
Yes.
And so he went and hit it with him.
Yeah.
Because it's probably the only space that, what's his name, doesn't know about Ultron.
Probably. Because it's supposed to be a dead universe.
Yeah.
So...
It's all that remains. Yeah. One tiny, tiny, tiny speck.
Which literally enough space for evil Doctor Strange to exist. Whether or not he's evil or whatever. Misguided.
But I think it's going to be pretty cool, hopefully. Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah. One thing that disappointed me about this episode, though, was the voice actors were not the regular crew. Well, Jeremy Renner was.
Yeah.
And Benedict Cumberbatch did make his appearance as Doctor Strange. Yeah. But the rest of the characters in it were just voice actors. Yeah. Well, when I say just voice actors, I just...
They weren't the main actors.
Yeah.
Because they're for budget or anything.
Yeah,
like
for
whatever.
Because I got a feeling they're all coming
Somebody
back.
said in the What If universe, Iron Man's like Sean Bean.
Pretty much.
Always dies.
He always dies.
He always dies.
He always dies.
Always dies.
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, this episode was just mind-bending, right? And what it's going to lead to, I think, is going to be epic.
It's going around a lot of places.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you're a Marvel Cinematic Universe fan and you're passing on this because it's animated or because it's a cartoon or whatever, don't.
They're doing this mostly because it saves them money.
Yes, do not pass on this series. Give it a
It's
watch.
ingenious. I like it. It feels more comic booky.
It feels more comic booky, and I mean they're maintaining a lot of the themes that they've developed in the MCU. So watch this. You will. I have a feeling
This
order
isn't
to
B
understand.
canon.
No, this is not. This in order for you to understand what's going to be happening in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, probably not so much No Way Home, but definitely Multiverse of Madness. You need to see
I
this
think Multiverse
series.
of Madness is more fallout of it.
Yeah.
I think there's like some stuff, like how there's a big explosion, shrapnel goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Multiversal shrapnel.
Yeah. Could very well be.
I think maybe what we saw in a post-credit scene. Was
No, okay,
probably
see,
some
you're
of the trailer.
jumping the gun, man.
I'm not jumping the gun. I didn't name what it is.
Lower Decks. We got to talk Lower Decks first.
Wait, I know. I said we're going to refer to that thing later.
Yeah.
But Lower Decks now. Somebody made a good point, by the way.
What?
They're on streaming.
Yeah.
Why do they blank out the penises?
I don't know. I have no idea.
It was just
No
there.
idea. So
It was a very generous bar, by the way.
Very generous. Boimler, you are well endowed, my friend.
That poor man in that getting 100%. It was like a Donkey Kong to him, like a Donkey Kong machine.
Yeah.
And oh man, the poor man's traumatized with it.
I thought this, don't get me wrong, I love every single episode of Lower Decks, but I thought this was an absolute standout episode. Right? Like many holodecks where you get tested on. Basically, it was a Kobayashi Maru kind of scenarios that they were throwing at them.
But they were also showing how they were basically giving the ensigns the shoveling crap in the wind jobs because of the restacking of things. Every time they get hit, they get knocked over. No, you have to stay in here and you have to stack these things. And every time they get hit, they get tipped over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was...
He even says logically they should stack by their shape, but they don't.
They should, but they don't. Like, what the hell's up with that, right?
They should have dodging blue barrels, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my! They did that though. The thing with the being the chief medical officer and has to die. That Klingon wants to die. Yeah, the Worf thing.
That was the whole Worf thing.
Oh.
Every one of those scenarios was something taken from the old
But so
past
it's not
series.
Naked Time. Like,
That's
just
Naked
like
Time was
the horny episode.
Yeah. That Naked Time scenario was absolutely mind-blowing.
Oh my god!
And Shax and the Doctor are definitely
yeah. They're actually doing
knocking that out with each other. So.
I love that. But we have to stay where they're staying. They sleep in a corridor.
Yeah, they sleep in a corridor. Yeah,
There's basically a big hallway that their beds are in.
that's it. That's it. Right above the second. Well, I guess it's the second deflector dish. That's in between the nacelles. That's where they're right above that. So. I don't know, but I don't understand that because on the Enterprise didn't the ensigns have their own quarters on the the Enterprise?
Yeah, they did usually on a Galaxy class and things like that, and I guess the Cerritos should, but I guess they maybe boiled down the insides a bit more. As usually ensigns share.
Yes, two ensigns per room.
Yeah, two ensigns per room. Bunks at the opposite end. You have your main communal, and then there's your head with your sonic shower and stuff like that. But I think the Cerritos is meant to be a bit more bare bones.
Yeah.
At least they're not hot bunking like on like a little 24-man ship for
my God, can you
border
imagine?
patrol.
No, thank you.
That's what I mean though. But like, he definitely plays video games because he definitely had 100% that thing. Every time he finishes, like that was sufficient. Like no, it's not.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
No, gotta keep going. Gotta keep going.
But he was the only good one. Everybody else is failing.
Everybody else failed because of stupid little my headsets just went all weird. Anyway, everybody else failed because they were being stupid about what they were trying to do. Right. Like Beckett Mariner thought she was going to be able to do the Old West scenario. She couldn't even get on the horse.
I love how they make the background like they did back in TOS, where it's just this big red background. There's no backdrop or anything. They just use this solid stark color. Like same thing with like the Abraham Lincoln episode or whatever when they have to show that. Yeah.
And that little nod to Star Trek II, where Rutherford's in the engine room and
it needs the many.
the warp core has gone all screwy. I don't know what's going on with this.
These work, I think.
That's all right. That's okay.
These are the ones.
No, there we go. I'm good again. Okay, there we go. I'm good. And he's actually on a Constitution class cruiser, which was kind of.
I love it. You see it in the background, like even on the OSD or whatever.
Yeah,
I was just like, that's great.
Yeah.
What was it though? Her little thing with the Worf. But then they were that's all they had to do, wasn't it? Like stack the things.
That was it. That's all the ensigns had to do, or the bridge crew.
The bridge crew as ensigns.
That's all they had to do was stack the things. Yeah. Because I guess that's all ensigns are any good for, is stacking and cleaning. I don't know.
What the hell was Missy's species?
I don't know. I can't
They
remember.
look kind of familiar. I think they're from the animated series.
Could be.
I think that's what she's from.
Yeah, could be.
Because I think we saw a male of them.
She could pop apart in three pieces.
Levitate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's from the animated series. I think, which is cool. They start tapping into that because there's some kooky crap.
Yeah.
Maybe they can find Giant Spock.
They already did find Giant Spock.
When was that?
In the episode where they're on the collector ship.
Yeah, crap. Yeah, he's on there.
He's on there.
I forgot about that. What else was I thinking about?
Because that was the only one that I couldn't figure out when they were going through all the collector stuff. I was like, giant space person, what's going on here? And then I had to go do research on it.
That's right, too. It was like, they found him on there. Yeah, because that's all canon, apparently. People try to say it wasn't canon for years. They didn't get it, but they're like, no, these are canon.
Yeah.
Which is cool. That means they have aqua shuttles.
Yeah. Yeah. So they can really dip into a lot of stuff.
Oh, they can go right out in the weeds, though.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like Deep Space Nine, they got to figure out like something from Deep Space Nine ended up becoming a chain across the quadrant, or something like that. Something like kind of like KFC kind of thing.
That would be interesting. Well,
like Quarks
is all over the place.
That's true. They must be like they got to show what they're like in stuff like a TGI Fridays or something.
Yeah,
like that. Boobs and gambling.
You know, I would kind of like to see more of what's going on with Quarks.
I would say it in Picard when they go back to air quotes modern day. I joked to a friend of mine. Oh, they're taking cue with him so he control the Anons.
I guess yeah.
Yes, they were my little bit of fun. I was bored here.
Yeah. Yeah. Is Q going with them though?
I wonder what's going on.
I don't
with
think
him.
they are.
I think he's just going to be bookending like he usually does. I think that's all he's going to do. They're going to get thrown back into the 21st century, and clarity ensues like Star Trek 4. I think it's going to be more because last season was dark AF. That was like even the lighting wasn't very light. This looks like glowy CSI Miami, California Strip kind of look to it, the lighting and everything, and like
but I still think the underlying theme is going to be really.
It's going to be really dark. But
you've seen Picard in a dark Starfleet uniform.
Yeah, but they're trying. You're going to see that as like this is the crap you got to avoid. How do you do that? We got to go back to the past kind of thing, right? Yeah. You're going to see that 1 or 2. They might even do 3 or 4 episodes. Would be cool, but kind of the opposite of the first season of Discovery. Then go over to the light side stuff. And like they got to do the last bits to get back to the 24th century or almost 25th century.
Yeah.
Actually, if even a year progresses, they are in the 25th century. So,
from what I read online, and this was on Instagram, I don't know how accurate it is. This whole season is going to revolve around what Q does that changes, that alters the timeline, and all subsequent seasons are going to be them trying to get back to the 25th century,
which would be great.
Well, they've shown the control panels from one of the ships, and it's TNG era ocudograms.
That's great because you kind of take Quantum Leap in a way and mix it into that.
That's probably I would go,
and they don't have to worry, and they can do kind of like Lower Decks does, but in a live action way, like homage to, but not so much serious. Yeah. It's still serious, I mean, but but that's what I mean. They don't have to worry about like people like, oh, we want to see more, that era. We don't have to. Let's go back and what works for us. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I think it is too.
I think there's going to be a few years on the series. It would be nice.
I figure there, as long as Patrick Stewart keeps saying yes, I got a feeling we're going to see this as an ongoing.
Jogs daily.
Yeah, I mean he's in great shape for 76, 77 years old.
Yeah,
something like that.
He is his age now that Picard was in Nemesis. Yes. Roughly,
yeah.
Picard was in his mid to late 70s.
It's hard to believe that when Patrick Stewart started TNG, he was only in his mid 40s. Right? And Will Wheaton
he wasn't even fully gray. He just cut his hair down.
He just cut his hair. And Will Wheaton is now the same age, or last year, he was the same age as Patrick Stewart was when he started.
Riker looks, Jonathan Frakes looks like he makes craft beer now. He's been making craft beer for years. Looks like his beard
he looks like a wild man of Borneo kind of thing. So he needs a haircut and get a real job, get back on the starship. But I think, we've got a lot of Star Trek coming down the pipe. Prodigy starts.
Oh, yeah, the kids series.
Prodigy starts.
More youth-oriented.
Yeah, I was going to say more oriented towards youth, but I've seen the trailer and some previews.
Yeah.
It's not a kids series.
It's still going to be like, it's going to be like Gargoyles or something like that level.
Kind of. I think why it's getting the reputation of being Rebels. A kids series is the animation. Right? Like it looks like cartoony.
Yeah.
3D animation, but after
it's
watching...
It's going to be more like an Avatar kind of level of maturity.
Yeah, like it's teenagers.
Yeah.
Teenage young youth. I mean, or young adult. I'm still watching it.
Strange New Worlds is... Oh, yeah, I'm watching
It's got
it.
Kate Mulgrew coming back
Yeah,
as Captain Janeway.
she's
I'm
like
watching it.
A holographic
She's
one,
a training hologram, yeah.
which is handy because if they need advice, et cetera, et cetera. And they're not going to be like a Starfleet crew. They're going to be like a ragtag
They're
crew.
a ragtag crew
Different
on a abandoned Starfleet starship. Prototype. It's a prototype called the Protostar.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that.
And they said Strange New Worlds is when? First quarter of next year?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Which is not so bad. And then, well, they're definitely apparently working on Discovery
For
next season. They're
because season 4 Discovery starts December, I think it is, or November. So
yeah,
they're
rather
facing
soon.
eyes into that, yeah.
So 31st century Starfleet.
Yeah.
And a ship that can actually traverse the place.
Yeah.
You might see some civilizations have big shifts.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for.
I want to see,
Right.
like Klingons are all like in with like the Bajorans or something like that somehow.
We're going to see stuff like that, I think. Yeah. I mean, we're talking, what was they said, 997 years into the future or
31st
something?
century. It's like Legion of Superheroes era stuff.
Yep. Yep. But they're going back to a more episodic formula, which I think is great. Like TNG and TOS and DS9, all those were episodic as opposed to an overreaching story.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that's going to work.
I think they're going to start making everything more broader in this one. I mean, like in the suits and everything, the palette. Like you saw the outfits, it's very. And I think they're going to turn the dimmer up a little bit.
Yep,
on,
I agree.
on the bridge. Really, really fast. We don't have to talk about Supergirl except for Supergirl pronounces it Newfoundland.
That bitch.
Yep. Moving on.
Really?
Yep. How was Newfoundland?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Jay Baruchel. I had a little chat Jay Baruchel about that on Twitter. Well, he liked the tweet that I sent him. I was like, man, you want to see something that handles Newfoundland bad in the media? Like for like reproduction of it? Watch this episode of Supergirl. And I told him like the season and episode number. Because he just finished directing Son of a Critch.
Yes, he was here directing Son of a Critch.
Loves Jake Zinner.
Which has, oh God, poor kid. Poor guy.
I love Jake Zinner.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. I had reheated my pea soup. I
of
had
it.
pea soup today that I made there the other day. Salt beef.
Sorry, man. Like pea soup is one of my absolute most hated meals. I hate it with a passion. But yeah, Rodney McDowell.
Rodney McDowell plays Pop.
Rodney McDowell was here. Jay Baruchel was here, doing Son of a Critch, which I'm really looking forward to seeing.
Rodney McDowell plays Newfoundland grandfather.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait to see it.
I'd say somebody really coached him because he usually tries to commit a bit. Although he was kind of playing an old like crazy old man anyway in that show with Nick Frost that was on Prime.
Oh yeah, the paranormal paranormal comedy series. Whatever. What was that called again?
Ghost Finders.
Ghost Finders.
Yeah. But yeah, he was like an old man kind of character like that on there too. Yeah. So I'm just hopeful that this kind of transcends over there, except for Newfoundland accent.
Yeah. And really, he doesn't even really need to do much of a Newfoundland accent.
No.
I mean, he is from Ireland.
Yeah.
Is it Ireland or
no? England. He's actually the guy who played Bashir. That's actually his nephew. Alexander Siddig is actually his nephew.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Alexander Siddig's mother is McDowell's sister.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so and that's another character I would love to see come back.
Soren?
Bashir.
Oh, Bashir?
Soren.
Bashir and Garrick could have a little like Kingsman kind of style thing on the
guy.
Absolutely. Because he's like an augment, and he's a master spy, and a simple tailor.
Yeah.
Facebook found that was false.
Yeah.
I like that meme that showed this week. But yeah, two of them, like, totally.
Well, and
you got a taste of it in DS9?
Isn't Bashir working for Section 31 now?
That's what I mean, right? Yeah. That's what I mean. But then, like, he has, like, we have to have you work with a name from your past too. Elam Garrick.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'd love to see something like that.
Buddy
right?
cop
like,
kind of Star Trek series. That would be amazing.
And that's apparently what Quentin Tarantino kind of style he was working on, was some kind of buddy movie in the Star Trek universe. So I don't know.
Apparently he doesn't want to do it like he does usually. I don't think there's going to be blood sprays like that. No. Did you see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
No, not yet.
Oh,
I am planning on
the climax of the film. Yeah, you wouldn't see that in a Star Trek film. I don't think.
No.
I don't know if you heard about it, but anyways, yeah.
Pulp Fiction on a starship. No.
Shots of Uhura's feet.
Yeah, not going to see that at all.
I don't know, man. You never know.
Well, I think CBS and Paramount are going to be a lot more forgiving with.
Yeah. Well, they're having fun with the brand. They know this is their Marvel.
Yeah.
And they know that people endearingly towards this stuff, but love even the humor now.
Yeah.
I mean, like we talk about Lower Decks, but I mean, like, it pays homage because it even goes out in weeds, like I said, and finds stuff. Like, they prank called Armus.
Right. Like, you got to dig deep to get that, right?
Yeah.
You got to dig deep.
They realized, like, I think they realized when they saw how the Orville went down.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, wait. Except for these few little man babies in the corner, everybody loves this to the point where you can totally make fun of this or expand upon it.
I mean, as much as and we're gonna change gears here now in a second and talk about Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Yes.
But before we get into that, like, Star Trek for the longest time took itself too serious.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I'm not about as much as I love it.
Yeah.
There's got to be a comedic element to it.
Oh
somewhere.
my God! There's whole episodes you can just do, like Sub Rosa,
Right? Like, absolutely.
Space Ireland, and Beverly Crusher sleeps with a ghost that's already slept with her grandmother.
Right. Like,
And there's even like the I think he's supposed to be a bullion or something like that, but he has an Irish accent.
Yeah.
He's the groundskeeper for the police or whatever. Remember that one? Like, come on! Like, people said, there's only really like 12 good episodes of Star Trek for each series, and the rest are shit. Pardon my language.
I wouldn't go that far,
but like for like, but like really, like on the scale of like quality,
yes,
a lot of them get to be Monster of the Week.
Yeah.
To like clip show or character development.
Yeah.
AKA somebody else is directing this episode.
Yeah,
or something
exactly.
Like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, right. You got your. There's great episodes there, but there's some episodes just like that. Like how Dr. Carter got a groove back is like one of the big examples. But then the one with the funky masks, and then going around the ship.
Yeah.
And then Die Hard Captain Picard edition.
Yep.
That was great.
That was a good
they
episode.
Totally got to reference that one.
Oh my God!
They got to do like a sequel where it's like
they've got to.
Somebody. Oh, I also forgot my crop, and they go and there's another big thing for half an hour because he forgot his saddle. Oh, I also forgot my crop, and he goes off and kills about a half dozen other people.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed with how much Lower Decks is getting away with.
Oh my God!
Like that whole sequence, the naked time sequence in this week's episode. I watched that and I was like,
they're doing a lot of stuff.
oh wow,
there's a lot of stuff going on. I was like,
here's Boimler sitting at a table with his legs spread and this
like,
giant,
you know, like
his
cowbell
thing
wave.
Is, yeah, right. Like his thing is blocked out by this. And I was like, wow, how are they getting away with that? And
streaming.
And Mariner is like, don't touch anyone, don't touch anyone, don't touch anyone. Which I found funny because I always took Mariner for being a bit of a kinkster. So I don't know.
No. Because she knows about what happened there. She can't touch anybody. You touch somebody, you get the virus. The horny virus is by touch.
Right, the horny
Don't touch
virus
anyone.
is
Don't
by
touch anyone.
Right.
That's why she was doing that.
Right.
Because she's like, screw it. She blew her way out the airlock, essentially.
Yeah.
But like, yeah,
I
no,
forgot that. It was by
remember
touch.
because it's by touch. Because even Data got infected by it, which is odd. But well,
moving the story along. Let an android have some fun.
fully functional.
Fully
Really?
functional android.
Farts.
Yeah. It's not right, Sean. That's not right. Okay, so let's get
Venom. Let there be.
Was there anything else? I don't think there was.
I'm trying to think.
Doom Patrol, but I didn't.
Doom
see
Patrol,
it, so.
you didn't see it. Titans, it's a bit more developmental, but things are going on in Titans. You'll enjoy the season when it comes up for you to watch. It's great. It does character development good and homage to source material.
Okay.
So Doom Patrol.
Okay. All right, so let's get to the big thing for this week, which was, of course, like you just said,
Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
And for anybody tuning in right now who's listening,
spoiler alert! Right now, we're gonna go till God. We're gonna go.
We're probably gonna go right to the end of the show. With this.
So, like last couple of minutes, you can tune in, and we can tell you tune in next week.
But yeah, we're gonna get really spoilery over this because it was
right away. I gotta say, it is. Although it is visibly dark, it's not dark in tone.
No.
It's fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
That gallows humor in it was even comedically like cartoonish. It was laughably.
I thought it was funny in parts where it shouldn't have been funny because
the little cartoon, the drawings of his, what made him the monster that he is, kind of thing, right?
But
and
not
it's
even,
Mom
not even that.
and Grandma.
Like, I'm talking about like the way Venom and Eddie interacted.
It's like a buddy cop show.
It was definitely a buddy cop.
But
thing.
you just like watch out for the 2000 TV. That's why I got you in his little thing for chewing on and that. And
the tire for chewing on.
But that's why I got the chickens. No, Sonny and Cher. No, they're not for eating.
Sonny, Cher, friends. Well,
It was adorable.
The only real criticism on the production that I have for this movie was sometimes it was hard to understand what Venom was saying.
Yeah, the growl
Yeah.
they put into him was a little bit at times, but I got it. I got it.
Yeah.
Mrs. Chen. Oh, Mrs. Chen when he shows up.
I think she was in love with Venom.
No, I was like, the poor little boy. He's
Yeah.
so sick.
Yeah.
He's so sick. I have to take him in.
All right, let's
chicken.
go.
She got to eat the chicken soup herself.
Let's go
Okay.
and start right from the beginning. So this episode,
movie.
this movie kind of picked up where the first movie left off. Kind of, but not really.
It's about like a 6 months later kind of thing
Yeah.
where his life is progressing, but like now that he's prominent in the media as an actual reporter, and he's making this money and he's got this place, and then Eddie Brock gets a request to go see a serial killer.
Yeah.
That's on death row.
Cletus, who of
No,
course
not
was-
on death row. No, they didn't have him on death row.
They
or no?
did. Yes, he was on death row at that point.
Yeah.
Who of course was Cletus
Cassidy, played by Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Which is a great character little thing. I remind me of another movie he did. I'll talk about some other
Natural
time.
Born Killers.
No, there was another one too. He did the same guy did Taxi Driver, and he
Oh.
plays like the son of like a dead senator, and it's like a character thing. He plays like this gay socialite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like real character work, and like it reminded me of that. I was like, yeah, he's going in like that.
Oh,
That's
okay.
cool.
Oh, it reminded me a lot of Natural Born Killers.
Yeah,
like the
that
way-
too, though.
The way he was acting.
Well,
and
the
stuff,
two of
so.
them together, especially. Spoiler: his girlfriend. You learn that he has.
Wife.
I think he tells Eddie about this love that he
Yeah.
had or whatever. Blah blah.
Yeah.
He says, and he tells him what to print, right? And Venom's pretty smart and a lot more observant than Eddie. Eddie is just like he kind of just steamrolls through his day.
Yeah.
He's like, I told you all this stuff. Like, look at all this. And he points all this stuff. Like, all this stuff's like, man, like, put all this together. And he has to break it down to him in the simplest of terms. He's like, you don't get this. What? You don't get this. What he just said. And this, you can obviously see it as the viewer, but it's like, the way he takes control, too, like how they share the body is great, that dynamic.
Yeah. Which I thought was very well done, right? Like Eddie himself, Eddie the body, could do things that a normal human couldn't do, right? Like
That was super fast, too, right?
automatic drawing kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and at super speed.
At super speed.
And so, air quotes, Eddie cracks the case, and they find the bodies or whatever.
And Venom gets pissed off because Eddie didn't give him any credit.
No, he didn't
Right?
get the byline, so to
He
speak.
didn't get the byline, so to speak, which I thought was like really, really funny.
Oh, man, when he tears that bike up. Because Eddie gets all this money, and he upgrades his life because, ooh, big time now, serial killer, crack the case, all this stuff. I'm a big-time journalist. And, yeah, of course, friends fall out.
Friends fall out. That's what happens.
Man.
Right, and Venom gets pissed off because he's not getting any recognition.
No.
And
He cracked the case.
What I liked about this was Venom really wants to be a hero.
Yeah.
He's constantly talking about, well, we're
He wants to be a
gonna
good person. He just
we're going to
wants-
have to get a mask and a cape now. And I'm like, what?
He's just, yeah, the cape part. I was like, oh, my God.
I was like, you are the mask, you fool.
That was actually foreshadowing in a way.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, though, like, the only pesky part is he has to eat brains.
He has to eat brains. And, I don't think this was ever talked about in the comics, but there's a chemical in the human brain that keeps the symbiote alive.
That's why he gives him chickens and chocolate, because chocolate has it as well. But he's like, hey, you see, there's just like M&Ms and that everywhere. in the place. Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's just like trying to abate him. He's like, come on, we'll just go out and get something. It's like on death row. They're walking through the jail. I remember. He's like, come on, there's a bunch of people here.
Yeah, that we could kill him.
But Eddie
Nobody would
says,
care.
Eddie says, though, is like, how do you know they're guilty?
Yeah.
So that's the thing, too. Eddie does make a good point on that. Was like, yeah, he's like, man, this is like a smorgasbord in here. Yeah.
And I still really like the fact that Eddie Brock is a slob.
Such a slob. He looks like one. There's only like he looks good like when he gets a bit of money and like dresses himself up a bit. Other than that, he's like blows his nose in the friggin' towels. See, I know that part. I was like, watch. I was like, you're not gonna. Oh my God, you're Homer Simpson.
Yeah,
you're Homer Simpson. He was. He's basically Homer Simpson with the symbiote.
He is like the dregs of polite society kind of thing.
Tom Hardy plays his character great against the type of like most superheroes supposed to like debonair, handsome, ripped abs somehow.
Yeah.
No, this
But
guy's
Eddie,
like he
Eddie
eats
Brock
crap.
is a slob, man. Like he eats crap. He looks like crap.
He runs.
He looks like he's sweating all the time.
Oh my God! Around his eyes are so black sometimes.
Holy
it's just like,
shit.
oh my God, are you on heroin?
Right? Like that's exactly what I like. I figured. Like, okay, the last movie was like that because his body was treating Venom like an infection.
Yeah.
But it's not. Like, this is just the look of Eddie Brock.
Yeah, Eddie Brock's is a piece of crap schlub. He's like at the beginning in Stranger Things when you see this guy, he turns out to be the sheriff. Afterwards,
Yeah.
it's like gets up, beer cans everywhere, lights a cigarette. Yeah, this is also Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
Like, the place is just a mess. Although he did clean it up after they had their little tiff and they broke up.
Yeah.
It's funny because Venom's hopping from body to body, and it's like, oh, this one checked out, next one, and he hops on somebody else.
Yeah, which I really like. That was a big thing in the comics, like because Venom did leave Peter at one, or did leave Eddie at one point, and would suck the life out of other bodies.
Yeah.
Right, by using them, by riding them, as he called it.
I think they usually just get sick or whatever, and he kind of just moves on to the next one.
Yeah.
So party makes no sense. They're just partied out.
Yeah.
Although he had fun at the party.
He did have fun at the party, yeah. Yeah, and everybody loved Venom at the party. That's all he wanted was the recognition. That's all he wanted.
Yeah.
Was the recognition.
Yeah. He was a hero.
He was a hero. A lethal protector, as he kept referring to himself.
That's so 80s. I love that. He's like, we could be the lethal enforcer.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I love Venom.
Which, of course, was the name of a Venom comic book series.
Yeah, the Lethal Enforcer.
Years and years ago. Back in the 90s, I think it was.
Oh, man, was it... there's one part... No, there's something he said, and I can't remember. It's one of the lines. The dinner, and he's trying to keep his cool. And she's like, look, he proposed to me.
Oh, yeah.
And also was like, nobody likes you, Dan.
Yeah.
That one, nobody likes you, Dan.
Venom was in love with her.
Oh, yeah. Venom was in love with her more than Eddie, in a way. It seems like, because Eddie's like kind of cool. He's like, yeah, that's good for you. It's like being an adult, and Venom's like, no! You hear him scream.
Yeah.
After a while, she picks up, like, oh, he's there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she enjoys when they bond sometimes, because they bond a couple. This is the second movie now, second time in a row now. They've bonded, him and her.
Oh, I didn't. They bonded in the
first one, yep. She has rescued him. And so Venom, it's at the prison or whatever. Eddie's there, but Venom's not with him. And so her and Venom break him out or whatever for the big fight towards the end.
No, I'm talking in the first movie.
In the first movie, yes. In the first movie.
So they did the same thing in this movie?
Oh, no, this isn't really the same thing. This is like he was at the police station. It's just on the auspice of smuggling him in kind of thing, right? But Eddie could have easily bonded with him then, in the second one, but this one was more towards the fight climax or whatever. This is... Venom didn't have Eddie at that point,
right,
and had to use her because it looks almost like the Jim Ballant cover. You ever see where Venom's bonded to a woman?
Yes.
Yeah, she kind of looks like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not for long, but not long enough to make her sick or anything like that. But she has to, So this is the second time she's bonded with him.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
Yep.
Then, of course, when they get Eddie out of the police station, they make haste to get to the church.
He slaps him twice. And once it's an accident.
What?
He slaps Dan twice. Sorry. He's like, you got to work on couples counseling.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they break him out.
Yeah.
Because, like, no, you slap somebody once, you can say it's an accident. You slap them twice.
It's not, no.
That's what I mean.
But they get to the church where the big fight between Carnage and Venom takes place, which I thought was beautiful.
Yeah.
I thought it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fight.
And Shrike was just enough, I found, into the fight and out of the fight. They weren't overusing her or anything like that either.
Well, she had her nemesis, which was the cop.
Yeah.
And then we had Venom and Eddie, or Venom and Carnage, which were fighting each other. I loved it when Venom runs into the building, and Carnage comes out, and Venom's like, oh, we've got to go. He's like, why? It's a red one. I didn't realize it was a red one.
Yeah, Parker's like, you can eat him. Okay.
Did he explain why he was afraid? Like, red ones are known to be... Chaotics.
Yeah.
But they didn't really say that in this movie, did they? No. Okay.
No, but in the comics, reds are chaotics. They're extremely, like, that's why they can tie to people who are psychotic.
Yeah. Which, of course, makes perfect sense with Cletus Cassidy.
Yeah. They got their PG-13 at the end of that fight.
Yeah. That's where they got their rating from for sure. Yeah. That one line gave them the rating that they needed for PG-13.
It wasn't not a gory movie. Like most killings happen off screen and everything like that kind of thing. Like, except for that line, and kids can get away with being with their parents and seeing this kind of thing. Yeah. It's not like Deadpool.
No.
Brains exploding in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an intense fight though. And you can see how they heal themselves as they fight too.
Yes.
Except for when you both fall and you fall separately.
Yeah.
It showed like it. I like that though. Like Venom like used the others and like even like went across Dan.
That was cool.
Yeah, and they're like, I got you.
Dan was like, what the hell? And
poor Dan is just getting dragged along with this, and he's not having a good time.
No, he's not having a good time.
Although I think Venom likes him a bit more because he's like, see you, Dan, blah, blah. So you bond with Dan. I think that much to know about Dan. I don't think there's much to Dan, so I think that was all they needed. I think they made with the joke.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Because I think that's why Venom loves what's her name, because they've bonded and, they read the memories. Dan's just like, oh, Dan.
But I mean, what you're saying makes a lot of sense because in the comics, like Venom was pissed off with Peter Parker when Peter Parker rejected him because Venom had fallen in love with Peter.
Yeah.
Not in a romantic way.
Well,
but
it's just it's an affection between like symbiotic relations.
Yeah.
It's like you have an affection for the other person, and that's what I like too. At the end, they love each other, but they love each other. Him and Eddie and Venom, but like two parts of the one being in a way, but our two different aspects are.
Yeah.
Watching Telemundo.
Watching Telemundo. Okay.
I love they show that whole thing though. I just loves like
this is the
Telemundo.
Big, This is the big spoilery part we're going to get to. So they're
watching.
They're on the beach and they're saying how they want to be.
Sand in the toes. He says in the beginning.
Ass in the beach, sand in the toes.
Hair in the wind.
Hair in the wind. And so they've come to a place now where they understand each other. They get each other. They're going to work together. They're going to be the lethal protector because even Eddie says it, right?
I want to be the lethal
protector. Okay, so we're all good. Credits roll, but as is due with a Marvel movie,
mid-credit.
We get a mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
There was no after-credit scene.
No, it was only mid-credit. I had to hop on the internet and check while we were waiting, actually.
Yeah, okay. So, tell us about the mid-credit scene.
Okay, so two boys are sitting up, and they're watching Telemundo. So it must be in Mexico somewhere, watching Telemundo down, or at least down towards the border, at wherever they're staying to. And they're just talking about it. And they're just talking about, like, you've been many places, blah, blah. I said, yes, we've been through many universes, blah, blah, blah. And he's telling Eddie, like, the symbiotes have been, like, everywhere. He's like,
don't forget how many years the symbiotic society has been around.
They've been around for
80
billion years. They've been around since the beginning of the universe, essentially.
Yeah.
So, but he tells him, he's like, what I've seen and experienced would just blow your little mortal mind. He's like, Eddie's basically like, give me a taste. He's like, okay. So he gives him a taste. But at the same time, there's a flash out through the window. Things get jittery. All of a sudden, the room is the same, but it's different. It's daylight. The room's a higher quality. The TV is different. And they're like, what the hell happened? They look over, and J. Jonah Jameson from the DailyBugle.net at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home is on the television, but that whole takes over the media thing, like you see at the end. So at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, they're teleported to the MCU.
Yes. That's exactly what it looks like. And we see Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
As Spider-Man.
On a news report, but, it is Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
And then a guy comes out of the bathroom and is like, dude, what are you doing in my room?
But don't forget the important part. Venom looks at the screen and goes, this guy.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder if...
He's seen a Peter before.
He's seen a Peter before, and a lot of rumors around now is that...
He's the Spider-Man one from
Spider-Man
the previous...
3. Yeah.
This is maybe the good... Maybe he didn't like that Eddie Brock, and he likes this Eddie Brock.
Could be.
Maybe that's why he likes this Eddie Brock so much.
Could be, yeah. Yeah, like, it really threw everybody... It got my mind going. It got your mind going.
Yeah.
So...
That's what I'm saying about there's more fallout, I think, with What If.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
This is going on at the same time as What If. Maybe that was one of the punches.
Could be one of the punches. Could be the spell in No Way Home.
Yeah.
Going wrong, going awry. Could be the multiverse. Could be when the multiverse fractured.
No. This is the end of Spider-Man Far From Home. Not No Way Home. So time is passing between these two. Venom's been on Earth since then, going into that movie.
What do you mean?
Far From Home, that end, J. Jonah Jameson thing, outing Spider-Man. That's the previous movie.
Yeah.
Time has passed since then, going into the one.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when Stephen Strange does the spell...
Yeah, it could affect across space-time, too, yeah. That's true. Yeah. I think it may be that... But what I'm saying is now, going into that movie, towards Christmas, Venom's been around for a while, so maybe we'll get a catch-up.
But has he? You got to remember, like, J. Jonah Jameson's got a hate on for Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
No, but this is where Mysterio had set that broadcast to help Jameson take over the airwaves. I don't think Jameson hacked the airwaves or something like that, because it apparently took over everything, like Times Square and stuff, right?
Okay. I didn't get that from from Far From Home.
Yeah, you're not usually allowed to, like, just take over every billboard in an area, because he was across everywhere on a broadcast or something like that, apparently.
Yeah, but I didn't. What I'm saying is, I didn't know Mysterio had anything to do with that.
I think it was the last little scoop kind of thing too, and he had it sent off to J. Jonah Jameson kind of thing. It was his little backup plan to defraud Peter Parker.
That I could see. Yeah.
That's what most people are suspecting this
Peter,
was, right?
Yeah.
So that's what they're saying, that this is placing him at the end of Far From Home. So the time since then, we could get a little catch-up montage at least. But they're saying apparently if they're going to do anything, it's not going to be direct interaction in this movie. It's going to be the next Spider-Man movie, maybe.
Yeah.
But what this suggests too?
What?
I think that may have been his entire. Some suggest that entire universe got merged into. It got shuffled in.
I could see that happening.
Yeah, like how that punch, like the bystanders keep changing,
Yeah.
and sometimes that's them. Their punches are changing that universe itself.
Yeah, I could see that.
So maybe it got shuffled in because maybe this is the way they worked out not a secret, but worked out an agreement with Sony now that access to the MCU gives them more ability instead of doing their own thing. That was the weakness of Fox. That was the weakness of a lot of companies that had the license that weren't the main MCU.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
The MCU had this rich history that across different properties.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it work.
Yeah.
Whereas these other ones, and Sony had a little bit of a chance with the pocket of ones they had, but really when they're looking at it, it's like, no, we kind of need this.
Yeah.
Look at DC. DC's not limited at all, except for Batman on television. That's the Fox license that Disney technically owns now.
Yeah.
But anything else, well, they work around that stuff, so. But anyways, but that's what I mean. They see the strengths of all this stuff, and I think Sony's going to be starting to be more malleable with MCU stuff. That's the suspicions of Morbius, because you see Michael Keaton as well thinking that, as well as Norley or something. I don't know. There was apparently somebody said that he's just supposed to pop up in it possibly.
I don't know. I haven't heard a thing about Morbius since
it's shelved right now until like they're Sony's just getting their releases out now. That's why Ghostbusters is going to be out soon.
Okay.
So because of things being enough now, where theaters can be open and stuff like that, Sony can release their stuff. They're not doing streaming as much as they can avoid.
Okay.
Free Guy's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, yeah. Came out last week. Yeah. Watched it on the Friday night after I got home.
Yeah. I'm going to sit down and probably
Which
watch
to me doesn't make any sense. So it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Which is great because that's where it belongs. It's a Disney property.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime has it available to rent. And I'm like,
you can just do rentals.
But why would you rent something from Amazon Prime if you can go over to Disney Plus and watch it for free?
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense.
And that's so weird. I know. I seen on Prime too. There's a lot of I guess there's third party rentals or whatever they call them. This seemed like around Christmas time, Wonder Woman was also available on there.
Okay, it could be.
Yeah, a lot of what happens with Prime is fine because we don't have all of HBO Max. HBO Max does the same thing as Disney Plus now in the States. Yeah. We don't have that here, so it gets thrown to rental services. And I usually see them on Prime. Like King Kong vs. Godzilla, I believe, was on there as well.
It is on there.
Yeah.
And it is on Crave as well.
Yeah.
So
I got to update my Crave, actually. I haven't in a while.
What do you mean by update?
Just get it paid again.
Oh.
I haven't bothered with it in a while. There hasn't been anything really compelling on there. I think there's a new season letter coming soon to me. Go get it for.
Yeah, I know they're dropping a lot of stuff on it now that fall is coming up.
That's
again,
what I mean.
So,
stuff's starting to come out now, the big release schedule. And I mean, we're going to have shows like Hawkeye coming out for that. And then hopefully we get the Eternals.
Yep.
I'm hoping we get that.
Yeah. I would say we will. I mean, it's a Marvel Disney release, so we're definitely going to get that.
They're putting a lot more stuff behind a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
And well, Spider-Man's a Sony thing. James Bond, we're supposed to get in rather soon, and I want to go see that because I think that's Craig's last one.
It is.
So.
It is. And apparently the ending to it is a swan song to the character as well. So
perfect.
There is talks that next movie might introduce a Jane Bond.
We'll see. Sometimes that's just speculative.
It's speculative clickbait.
Yeah,
that's
what I mean, right? This actor said this in an interview once. Yeah, who cares? Nobody's going to care about that in 3 days, but you just got 320,000 clicks.
Yeah, exactly. And I read online today that at the end of Ghostbusters Afterlife, they are going to have an on-screen honorarium or memorial for Harold Ramis.
That's good because he literally helped create that.
Well, he was one of the creators of it. Yeah, him and Dan Aykroyd and
you seen that,
Ivan Reitman.
You seen that documentary, didn't you? The shows and the movies that made us or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. Apparently, they smoked a lot of pot that weekend.
They did. They smoked a lot of pot that weekend.
Aykroyd had weird ideas, wanting to be like, was it a refrigerator or something like that? Or I'm trying to remember what was it. He wanted to be more like Blues Brothers.
Yeah, Aykroyd. Yeah, and Aykroyd, of course, is the entire Aykroyd family. Actually, are huge paranormal people.
Yeah, they are
massive. He's a huge ufologist.
He used to have his own show about 20 years ago.
He did. Yeah. And he still talks about it a lot.
He must have a podcast by now. I can see Dan Aykroyd's having a podcast, and he has that very podcasty voice for like talking about this stuff.
Yeah, he really does. He really does. And
this week we're going to talk about the haunting in St. John. It's almost like Vinyl Cafe, but for scary stuff.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of what else that I saw online today that was of any interest. Boobies. But besides that, no, not much else.
I was actually just looking over like shows for next week and just talking about like nerd debates. Like I said, like Lore versus Darth Vader. That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. Did you ever see the short film by Bat and the Sun, Batman versus Vader?
I didn't see that one. No,
I
seen the Predator, Batman versus Predator, and Alien.
That's another one. Bat and the Sun does a lot of these things, and they're fantastic.
I gotta see that one actually.
Bat and the Sun is actually doing a whole lot of Power Ranger stuff right now with Jason David Frank.
Nice.
Yeah.
Apparently that's going to be a movie, and the new Hasbro released all the Allspark.
Are they going to get it right this time?
So the first thing they're doing is the plan is with any Allspark things, as we've seen with Bumblebee, is they're going to be released when they originally were released. So Power Rangers is supposed to take place in 1995.
Okay, good. That's what I wanted.
Bumblebee takes place in 1984.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah. G.I. Joe, when they do that, because I think Snake Eyes is not associated. I think Snake Eyes is them playing out the last of the G.I. Joe stuff that they had on the previous thing, because Hasbro's plan is the Hasbro Cinematic Universe. That includes Power Rangers and Micronauts.
You know, like we're talking about the Hasbro Cinematic Universe, and you talk about the Marvel Universe, the gold mine they have, and the DC Universe, the gold mine they have. Like the Hasbro Universe is a gold mine as well.
A gem movie set in that period, you're recreating the whole vibe, would go over so well. Now you over 80s it,
as long as they don't do what they did with the last one.
No. Do it as it was, like as a cartoon.
Yeah,
but like do it as a comedy.
What about
you gotta do it as a comedy.
Mask is Hasbro.
Oh my god, Mask is Hasbro. Yes,
Hasbro?
Actually, there was a Matt Tracker G.I. Joe.
There was.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I wanted.
But
to
there
buy
was
it and
also
I never
a crossover con only thing. I remember watching Retrospector, and he was showing like they had this big crossover in the IDW comics with all the properties, all the Hasbro ones, and what they did was all the toy makers of the different lines at that time put a figure in the box. So there's a Matt Tracker from that, and there was G.I. Joe, there was a Transformer, everything.
Nice.
Big old box.
Nice.
So there was like a Matt Tracker, and I forget the Transformer they had, but yeah, they've crossed them over in the comics a fair bit, but they're going to be putting them in the one universe.
Yeah. Good.
So
that that makes a lot of sense. Like people are enjoying the shared universe stuff,
right? A lot of stuff. Yeah, because you can see your toys play together. Imagine that.
Yeah, but I don't even think it's just that. I think it's the whole idea, like the whole narrative.
There's a whole mythos and everything.
There's a whole mythos behind it all, right?
Well, that's what I mean, right? Like there actually is a rich, like Mask would be amazing, and that would be 80s.
Yeah.
If they follow this whole aesthetic, like they said, like they're gonna release it in the date period film for when the toy came out.
Yeah.
So like Power Rangers is 90s, but Mask could be like 85, 86.
Around the same time as G.I. Joe.
Oh, but like the flying cars, the whole visual aesthetic, like you would just see the trailer. If they did the trailer, you know what they would have to do? Beat for beat, do the opening to the show.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That would be the best trailer ever. You would make people freak out across the world. That would be how to do a teaser trailer.
Yeah.
You do it beat for beat.
But what they need is somebody who understands and got a nostalgia flair.
They're starting to get that now. They're seeing the Marvel model things because people are nostalgic for the stuff as well. But this Trek stuff is starting to be like Lower Decks, and it's catching on more. Like not just Lower Decks, but I use it as an example, but the attention to the product.
I'm thinking more along the line of the Bayformer stuff.
Yeah, that's at the window.
Which is, every movie got worse. I'm sorry, I hated them.
That's why after when it came to renew, they were like, no, and Bay did the little pay for the writer's room and tipped his hat and was like, I'm gone.
Yeah, good.
Well, One Entertainment or whatever, the Canadian company, was bought by Hasbro. It is now, Allspark Pictures is a part of One Entertainment.
Okay.
So, like, they used to be Alliance Atlantis at one point.
Yep.
Yeah, they are now Hasbro owned company.
Oh, good. Okay.
They have their own production company. They're all in on this.
Good. Doing it right.
I was reading up again on it over the weekend, and yeah, their stuff's still on the go. It's just COVID with everything. Everybody. But like Hasbro going to tap into a big purse, and plus they do stuff with 10 cents, so they have the Chinese market for a lot of the stuff.
Okay. All right, that's it for us again this week, folks. We'll be back next week. Angel Sky will be joining. Oh, you know what? Next week is Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So let's take a break.
Yeah, we can.
We're going to have to. Cause
we're going to have turkey naps, man. I don't think we'll get up for the show. Sorry.
I got some family coming home, and like you just
we're
said,
going to be having dinner with her folks.
Yeah. So we're gonna can next week.
Yeah.
We'll be back in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
Same Geek time, same Geek channel. Say goodnight, Geek.
Good night.